The missions aren't retarded, they're vegetables.
How does that make any possible sense? Oh, they're not retarded, they're vegetables. I do not see any logical sense in that.
A vegetable is a person who has suffered some type of brain disorder, and are 100% dependent on other people for survival. Like, they can't move or eat by themselves.
In this one, all you have to do is keep talking to the first person you see, and that's it. Nothing else.
Okay, that's maybe a point there. I mean, then again, town missions can be a little bit repetitive. I mean, take a look at Spider-Man 2.
He didn't say repetitive, he said vegetables. At least Spider-Man 2's missions made sense, right?
That was incredible!
Yeah, an incredible piece of shit!
That's pretty much what was running through my head, too.
Now, why is there a store in a Sonic game, and why does it sell only one of one item that only benefits me?
You're questioning logic in a video game again. That's like asking why in Spider-Man 2 they have Spidey shops that sell certain things that only Spider-Man would ever buy.
Okay, the reason why there's a store in the game is to buy upgrades and make use of the rings in the town. Also, other items can be available in the store once you get through a certain point of the game.
It's not like anyone else is gonna buy the light chip. What is Tails doing?
I don't know, maybe just another pointless moment.
It wasn't really pointless. It was just showing how weird the AI in this game is.
Look, even the soccer ball sinks without a splash. What a fucking circus. Are everywhere, and you can actually beat a few levels from the classics before the end. Look at the random instructions that should only exist in the manual. They're simplified to the point where they don't make any sense.
They make sense to me.
Okay, seriously. You only played the final part of the level. If you were trying to prove that you could beat the level faster than the loading screens, then you should have played the entire level and shown that.
I can only think of 2 levels that you can beat in 30 seconds, which is the load time that you'll say it takes. And those are both from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Emerald Hills Act 1 and Aquatic Ruin Act 1. And that's if you go really fast.
The graphics are realistically ugly when they should be stunningly cartoonish.
Okay, this game was released for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Of course the graphics are going to be realistic, and I don't find the graphics too bad. If you want cartoon graphics, play on the Wii.
I know the Wii has a lot of cartoony-looking games, but there are realistic-looking games for it, too. The Conduit, the Cabela Hunting series, I saw a Call of Duty game for it, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, the latest Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles game. Not to mention, there are cartoony-looking games on the PlayStation 3 and the 360. The Sega All-Stars games, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, the newer Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro games, Viva Pinata. The point I'm trying to make is, don't expect a specific system to have only a specific style of games. Again, do your research before you make such a statement.
The level design is bad. Almost nothing is reminiscent of the classics.
I actually find the level design to be rather good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the climax of our video, which I spoiled and said I'd get to later, which is right now.
I may have not played it, but it looks good.
Whoa! What did he just say?
I may have not played it, but it looks good.
There's an annotation that he added which states, and I quote, "I may not have played this, but I do know a lot about it." Do you even know what you just done, Chief Shadow? You just ruined the entire point of making your video!
Viewers take note that Supersonic 407 just said that this entire video is pointless just because he has not played the game. I'll get more to that later.
Well, no wonder you kept getting on his ass for no reason when he's talking about gameplay issues. You haven't been able to properly refute him because you have no clue what he's talking about. You can only judge a game so far without playing it. And yet you're trying to talk back to him about everything in that game.
Let's live in your little world where people cannot judge video games until they play it. Then what's the point of video game reviewers? They play bad games so that we don't have to, right? Tell me, have you ever not played a video game just because of bad reviews? Or maybe because of the box art. Imagine, you're walking through Target and you see this. Think it's stupid? Then you just judged the game before you played it. You said that it's impossible to refute a person on gameplay when you haven't played the game, but I did it. Remember the part about the controls of the truck being stiff and slippery? Those are complete opposites. How can they be both? I barely played the game, but I don't need to in order to combat all of your arguments. Funny story. I only played the first level of Sonic 06 at my dad's friend's house, and I would like to try more, but my brother won't let me. He's in possession of the Xbox, by the way. And do you know why? Because he thinks that game sucks. He hasn't played it, and he thinks it sucks. While we're talking about critics, let's discuss the Angry Video Game Nerd. He said that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on the Nintendo Entertainment System was bad. And when a magazine put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in their top 100 NES games of all time, people got really angry. What percent of the people that got angry actually played the game? Besides, when we're buying video games, we have to use judgment before we play the video games to make sure that we're getting our money's worth. By that, I mean the arguments of each group. If some of my arguments do not make sense, like the truck in the shadow level was actually necessary, then the game dude has just been misleading us. You are right about how you really can't judge some games, with a few exceptions, until you really play them. But you guys said that there is no point in making this entire video if he hasn't played the game. He has as much of a right to speak as any of us. Finally, I saw some videos of the glitches in Sonic 06, and most of them looked like they occurred due to human error, not by the game's hand.
You're just using this commentary as an excuse to insult Mario fanboy, but with this new little tidbit, you don't even realize you cemented yourself as a fanboy. Somebody makes a video review about a Sonic game, nerd style, and what do? You get all defensive. It's Michael Dragon 800 all over again!
The main reason why I made my Sonic Fanboys rant, and the main reason why Michael Dragon 800 made his Sonic the Hedgehog video, was because we both believed that the fans were giving these new Sonic games an unfair chance. I have some stories about these Sonic fans in my Sonic Fanboys rant, so I'm not going to repeat them all, but I'll just say that saying one video game is better than another video game because it is not a valid argument. That's why I made that video in the first place. It was to see if one person with a lot of good arguments can overcome hundreds of other people that have lousy arguments.
If you want to talk about him being an angry video game nerd ripoff like how you originally said you were going to do, then focus on that alone.
No. Remember when you said that because he has not played the game, even though he has done a lot of research, that he has no right whatsoever to make this video? If that's not what you meant, you shouldn't have worded it that way.
You at least know what you're talking about there.
And you're forcing me to repeat myself. Just because it's not the same as the classics does not mean that the game sucks.
There's a lot of pop-up, tree, no tree, tree, no tree.
That's common in video games.
It is, but there's normally fog. It's not like it just appears and disappears.
Invisible walls are everywhere.
I don't find that to be a big deal because invisible walls are common in video games. Play the God of War game.
What I find really interesting is how the game dude is ranting about how he cannot kill himself or how he cannot sequence break.
There's no rumble. Look how bad the camera is.
Okay, are you even trying to rotate the camera?
Or maybe he's just trying to show how weird and unreliable the camera can be at times, forced or not. Even the angry video game nerd has to play bad on purpose for a part of his review, just so that he can show what he's trying to explain.
So if the angry video game nerd did it, it's instantly okay to do.
But if you had actually played the game, you might have known that.
You're complaining about a glitch. That wasn't the game dude's fault. I came across glitches and camera issues like that a lot when I played as Tails too.
Aren't you two contradicting each other? Roshutsu, you said that he's copying the angry video game nerd by pretending to play bad to show a bad part of the game. And Supersonic 407, you just said that it's a glitch and not the game dude's fault.
A chimpanzee would handle the camera better.
And again, your Photoshop techniques are terrible. Your Photoshop pictures are terrible.
At least the music matches the sceneries.
Whoa, did you guys see that?
At least the music...
Where did that thing come from? What is it doing there? And why did it leave so quickly?
Ah, thank you. At least that's one decent thing about the game. The music's incredible. Well, let me guess, you're gonna say something like the Angry Video Game Nerd that it's worse than something.
But that's exactly why they're worse than Alvin and the Chipmunks singing with allergies and alarm clocks.
Hey, Realm Wars, I hope you have enough room for me in the Psychic Club.
What a small world this is.
Congratulations! You guessed what he was going to say! Would you like a cookie? In all seriousness, anyone could have predicted that by now, not just you. That was nothing special.
Was that an insult I just heard?
Oh my god, that is the worst picture I have seen in this entire review. Okay, let's take a look. The Alvin and the Chipmunks picture you can find off at Google anywhere. The alarm clocks you can find on Google as well. You put no effort into this. I mean, they're still smiling when they are having allergies. You should have made them look more sickly looking. So just for this, I will proudly give this to you.
And that's the end of part 2 of Chief Shadow's commentary. And yes, there is still more to come, so stay tuned.
I'm not repeating myself on what I said about these to-be-continued pictures at the end of your video.
And now we're gonna head into part 3 of his commentary with part 5 of ours.
Yes, if you want to know what that is called the whammy from Game Show Press Your Luck. If you don't know how that game show works, look it up on Wikipedia.
The collision detection sucks.
Heck, play Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. That game has worse collision detection.
You're talking about Sonic 1 on the Genesis, right? Because the hit detection was fine in that game.
He mentioned at the beginning of the video that he believes that Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis on the Game Boy is worse than Sonic 06. He said Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, not Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Genesis.
You won't find the glitches. The glitches will find you. Half the game is nothing but button tapping and cinematics glued together. Why would you run through these loops when you don't have to and there's nothing to collect?
Why is that even a big deal? It's not part of the review.
Sonic doesn't leave footprints in the sand anymore.
Please go back to the last point of the commentary because I am not repeating myself.
Okay, dude, you really need to calm down before you have a meltdown.
Slides like he's figure skating.
Okay, that is not figure skating at all. If you want figure skating, go to Google and check it out. Here's an example. This is figure skating. What Sonic is doing is apparently he's sliding like a baseball player. That's what you should have said.
How Sonic looks when he's sliding is a matter of opinion. Someone can say it looks like he slipped on a banana peel. Someone can say he's on a slip and slide. Someone can even say he's having an ass race, etc. Or maybe this is just another joke he's trying to make, and you're not taking him too seriously.
That's another huge grammar mistake. You see, your use of negatives made you say the exact opposite of what you meant.
And never runs as fast as he used to. He looks like he runs even slower because of the overly stretched dimensions of the levels.
Hey retard, there's a colored gem in the store available that allows you to double your speed. Try using it.
Love the immaturity here. You're not proving that you're better than him when you're stooping to his level with the childish insults. Also, could you lose the attitude? You're coming off as an asshole.
Remember that one part where you asked him if he wanted a cookie? That sounded like you were coming off as an asshole as well.
Instead of the robots resembling animals like they should, they resemble unwanted crap deleted from Metroid Prime.
Why are you comparing Sonic 06 to Metroid Prime? And besides, I like the robots in this game.